The Chennakeshava Temple located at Belur of Karnataka is renowned for its intricate carvings, sculptures, and motifs that embellish the outer walls. Among these, the most striking and exquisite feature is the 42 well-crafted bracket figures known as Madnikas or Salbhanjikas or Shilabalikas. There are 42 Madnikas or bracket figures on the corner, out of which 38 are outside the temple and 4 are inside the sanctum sanctorum of the main temple. The exceptional beauty and quality of these intrinsic works of art have earned them the title poetry in stone. Several of these sculptures are so realistic that it is difficult to believe they were actually carved from stone. But do you know that each Madnika has her own name? Only the beauty and its intrinsic work are not the specialty of these figures, but something interesting and secretive is hidden in each of the figure. Based on those details, each Madnika is assigned a name, which shows the real mirror to the society and breaks the stereotypes created by so-called historians who tell Indian society was oppressive towards women. Many more astounding facts you will get to know about these figures which you have not known earlier. Out of the 42 Madnikas, we will discuss most of them one by one here in this video. And you will definitely be astonished at the end with the last one, the 43rd Madnika, which is hidden in the same complex with the mind-boggling features you would have never known. That some modern parameters are not new to the world. They were existing in India since ages. But to understand that, you have to watch the video till the end, otherwise you will miss important details. So stay tuned till the last. And let's get started the video without any delay. If you are an engineer or an architect, you will notice how they have placed these figures at an inclined angle. And this angle is individually crafted for each location. So when you see this from the bottom, it looks perfectly aligned with your line of vision. If these carvings were placed straight at 90 degrees, they will not be that appealing to you. The soapstone used to carve these masterpieces provides them with an exceptional finish. Unlike granite or marble, the soft nature of soapstone allows it to be shaped even with our fingernails. When it comes to pillars, instead of the typical hammer and chiseling process with stones, they were crafted using lathe turning or scraping motion of the tools. A touch of polishing with oil would bring out a lifelike appearance in them. Starting from the most popular among all the Madnika, the Darpan Sundari, which is right at the main entrance of the temple. Darpan means mirror and Sundari means beauty. A lady holding a mirror in her left hand and looking at her beauty in it. Darpan Sundari is distinguished among all the Madnikas for its exquisite beauty and flawless perfection. Upon closer examination of her anatomy, proportions, and features, it becomes evident that this sculpture is truly a masterpiece. If we zoom in on the tiny woman at the bottom, holding a monkey in her lap like a child, and the grapes on the other hand, the monkey is eating the grapes, we can see a hole at the belly button. It is a hole drilled into the stone to mimic the belly button. And look at the bigger Madanikas anklets. The sculptor has actually drilled tiny little holes all over the anklets, very similar to what you will find today in Indian anklets. These details are completely invisible to the naked eye. Here is another woman tweaking her hair in front of a mirror. But the mirror even has a handle at the back. And look at her thumb and her fingers, how they are used to hold the handle. These are insane details. This sculpture is showing the ancient voicemail system. It is widely known that ancient people were using pigeons and parrots for spying and delivering messages from one place to another. And some specialized persons were appointed to decode their messages who knew the language of these birds taught. This Madnika is called Shuk Bhashani. Shuk means parrot and Bhashani means who can speak or understand a language. It means she can speak and understand the message from a parrot and decode it. The assistant of the lady is ready with the berries to give them to the parrot after the successful decoding of the message brought by the parrot. But a spy is also trying to listen their secret message. The bangle on her right hand could be moved up and down. Here is another woman who is also listening to the parrot and ready to deliver the message in written form to the authorities as she is holding a bunch of palm leaves. She looks very serious. She is probably an official. If you look at the expression of both her assistants, it is quite clear that this is just official business. This Madnika is holding something in her left hand and holding the right hand in a speaking pose. Her two assistants are also present there. Actually, she is holding palm leaves because she is a messenger or a teacher who is in a position to deliver a message to the authorities. She is like a nomad who roam around the kingdom and gathers information for the wellness of their kingdom. That's why she is called the Gypsy Girl. It means that women were a part of the administration even for highly confidential matters, just like today's raw spice. They were expert in gathering information, decoding, and delivering it. If you are a fashion designer, you should definitely visit this temple and study the ancient fashion accessories. It is just insane. Look at this model, how she is standing, but more interestingly, see how they are showing the transparency of the dress here. This thin cloth is nearly see-through. It is covering her thigh, yet her skin is completely visible because the cloth is so diaphanous. And you can see how the cloth is stretching at the back. She wants to lure you, but you will die if you touch her. That's why they have carved a scorpion here. Because she is a Vishkanya, they were supposedly used as assassins, often sent to seduce and kill powerful rulers or enemies. It's like modern-day honey trap. 1 liter of scorpion venom is worth $85 to $960 million at present. But milking scorpions is not new technology. These women known as Vishkanya were doing this thousands of years ago in India. These Madnikas shows that women were not only busy in their makeup, they were also part of administration and their wellness. Here is a bird, but when you see below, you can see a female hunter who has just released the arrow as the bow is empty, and her assistant is ready with the arrows. His ornaments are attached so perfectly in swing position to show her movement perfectly, and it is nearly impossible to see them attached. It looks like they are swinging in the air, but actually it is attached. Here is another majestic female hunter holding a bow. The bow looks very fancy, but time has broken it. At the bottom, on the right side, we can see her assistant carrying another bow on her shoulder, and she has tied a deer on one side and a bird on the other side. They were killed during this hunting session and are being carried back home. On the other side, we can see another assistant. She is also standing with a bow, and this assistant has her own assistant who is removing a thorn from her foot. So this woman is subordinate to this woman, who is subordinate to the hunter. What the carvings are actually showing is the ancient social system, that the society was so flourished that an assistant had another assistant under her, and the women were not only meant to stay home, but they were doing outdoor activities as well. The hairstyles of this Madnika is another breathtaking feature. Every strand of hair is clearly visible to all. You can see her side bun with a bead stuck in it. You can see how her hair is bending and is moving into various buns behind her head. This is the insane level of detailing for a statue that is going to be placed 15 meters above the ground, which is yet not visible with naked eyes. Here is a carving that is simply impossible to ignore. She is beautiful in every aspect. Her facial features, her eyes, her eyebrows are amazing. And look at her hair, how everything looks perfect. She has a fashionable hair clip. At the end, her hair is perfectly cut into a straight line. Her body is just breathtakingly beautiful, adorned with a variety of ornaments. And of course, she is not only enchanting to humans, even animals want to see her body. Here is a monkey pulling her clothes. It has successfully removed her top, and she is trying to shoo the monkey away with a tree branch, and her assistant is laughing at the whole thing. Here is another Madnika. The monkey is pulling the clothes of this woman. And look, the monkey has a naughty smile, a dirty desire to see the body of the woman. Recent studies show that male animals can be excited by looking at human bodies, especially monkeys and apes. So these carvings are not just imagination. This animal behavior must have been studied by ancient builders and recorded in the form of carvings. Here a lady is dancing in a stylish manner by bending her body into 3 portions. One from the waist downward, other from the waist to the chest, and another upwards. This is apparently one of the most difficult postures. Here is another dancer. Look at her, how her knees are bent, and she is about to keep her left leg down, but that leg has not touched the floor fully yet. Look at her foot. You can not only see underneath her foot and her big toe, you can also see her second toe with a toe ring on it. In other carvings too, you can see such details. The human feet is curvy. It is not perfectly flat. When we place our feet on the ground, there is usually a gap in certain areas, and they have carved that detail. And many times we don't place all our toes firmly on the ground. This is also carved. This level of details is unheard of. This is why the Chennakeshava Temple is legendary and gets millions of visitors every year. Some carvings clearly show aspects of fear and horror in them. This Madnika is in disguise as a saint. She not only holds a scepter behind his head with a skull attached to it, even her crown is studded with skulls. The right hand is damaged. The lady has knotted her hair like the wife of a saint. This image appears like Devi Bhairavi, who has a chain of skulls around her head. This dancing pose is called Renuka Nritya. As usual, the assistants are playing with the drums. Here is another Madnika, who seems to be a sham or a saint. She is also holding a scepter in his left hand, and even her crown is also studded with skulls. She might be practicing tantra. She may be an aghori. It means women were not only fond of beauty, they were free to practice the extreme form of consciousness and devotion by leaving their homes. These Madnikas not only show explicit emotions like fears and tears, they also show very subtle feelings. Look at this Madhanika, a very beautiful, young girl. But when you observe her face, she is clearly depressed. Her face looks so dull that something is bothering her. Her face looks so devoid of any happiness. Even after 900 years, we can feel it. But why is she upset? Why would such a pretty girl, who can also afford all the jewelry and possessions, be so depressed? After examining her closely, we can see a small round mark below her right breast. It even has a tiny little projection at the center. What could it be? Yes, she has a third nipple, and she is depressed because of her third nipple. And there are 2 doctors carved below. One is giving her a potion to drink, perhaps an anesthetic, alcohol to numb the pain, and the other doctor is grinding some herbs for a medical procedure. They were going to surgically remove the third nipple because cosmetic surgeries were mentioned in ancient Indian texts like Sushruta Sanhita. Here is a woman holding something strange. After having a careful look, you will find that it is a dental model of the lower jaw with 12 teeth. This is the same number of teeth human adolescents have. Look at the similarity of today's dental models. The similarity is insane. Is this why she is holding a dental instrument in her other hand? Even today, all dentists use an instrument called a dental elevator that has a broad base and a sharp end. Are we looking at an ancient dentist holding a dental model in one hand and a dental instrument in the other hand? Is she a dentist? Here is another Madnika. She is breathtakingly beautiful. From far away, it seems that she is playing on her flute. It might be that flute has gone missing from her hands. Her maid on the left side is sitting to the tune of the flute. But as we zoom on her face, she is crying, and a monkey at the bottom is laughing on her. But why is she crying? She is very beautiful from head to toe. But as we notice her hairdo, her hair are so thin that they are just invisible. As we have noticed in another carving, each strand of hair was visible. So it is not possible that the sculptor might have forgotten to carve the hair mistakenly. Actually, she is suffering from alopecia, and she will go bald within some months. That's why she is crying and not playing flute, while performing a yogic mudra called Sach Mudra, which is used to cure various medical conditions. That's why the monkey is laughing at her. Yet the monkey is also shown bald. Here, the sculpture is showing the emotions so beautifully that you can be spellbound by their details. So these Madnikas are actually telling us about medical technology and diseases, and more importantly, women were the part of it. This Madnika is breathtakingly beautiful, standing in Tribhanga position just like Lord Krishna. Mesmerize the world as she is playing on her flute. Her assistant on the left side is sitting to the tune of the flute, and another one is tuning with her. She is a flutist, and her name is Venuvadini. She holds a drum in her left hand and playing upon it with her right hand. Look at her hands, one is beautifully entangled with the drum to hold it perfectly, and another one is holding the stick. Look at the detailing of the nails, they looks realistic. This Madnika is a drummer. This Madnika is a violinist. She is standing holding a musical instrument in her left hand, which is called Rudra Veena. Her maids are arranging for a concert. Her name is Dvibhuja Sharda. Here is another Madnika, who is an expert musician and playing on her violin, which is in the form of snake. This Madnika is holding a Nagveena, a veena with one end shaped like a snake. She is dancing also during playing the veena. As you can notice her feet, her toe is in the air, and you can clearly see the finger behind it. Her name is Nagveena dancer. This statue defies the law of gravity. The figure illustrates the epic story of God Vishnu, who took the form of Mohini. Statue of Mohini in the most perfect dance posture. It has been constructed in perfect symmetry, so that if you let a drop of water fall from the tip of her right hand raised above the head, it would touch her nose, then touch the left breast, tip of the left hand, and finally land on the toe of her left foot to the ground, due to the incredible symmetry and divine beauty. This sculpture is known as Bhasma Mohini because it shows the Mohini avatar of Sri Vishnu. Mohini lured him with her beauty into a dance and cleverly made him place his hand on his own head, leading to his destruction. This was the part 1 of our video. There are many more such incredible statues of Madnikas hiding mind-boggling secrets. If you want to know those secrets, please write down into the comment box and like the video. If we have 500 likes on this video, then I will upload part 2 of this series containing amazing secrets and the story why these Madnikas are called poetry in stones as a whole and how they are connected to each other. Till then, take care of yourself and subscribe Encrypted Past for regular updates. See you soon.